Thanks everyone for coming today. We Tibetans, with the support of former members of NKT, request that members of the NKT henceforth desist from your baseless international propaganda and protest campaign which is aimed at defaming, degenerating, ridiculing and vilifying His Holiness the Dalai Lama. It has been openly stated by members of your tradition that the purpose of your campaign is to destroy the reputation of the Dalai Lama and bring about this downfall. So we request all the British public and all over the world, before you join the NKT, International Shukden Society, please do some research. We are not saying to join them. What we are saying is, please do your research before joining the NKT or International Shukden Society. Thank you.
We are here today as part of a campaign to inform the general public about the darker side of the new Kadampa tradition, a quasi-Buddhist religious group who wear the robes of Tibetan Buddhism while secretly conducting a worldwide defamation campaign to vilify, ridicule and humiliate the Dalai Lama, the beloved spiritual and temporal leader of the Tibetan people. They pursue the Dalai Lama all over the world in order to scream and shout abuse at him. They call him an evil, Nazi-loving liar. They liken him to Hitler. They describe him as the worst dictator in modern history. And, most bizarrely of all, they say he is secretly a Muslim just pretending to be a great Buddhist master. I am one of thousands of former members of the new Kadampa tradition with direct experience of the cultish nature of the group, who, since their inception in 1991, have been dogged by allegations of abusing their members emotionally, spiritually, physically, financially and sexually. Behind their smiles, the NKT is an abusive, exploitative, predatory group who always put the interests of their organisation above the welfare of their members. They have amassed a vast property empire with huge centres and palatial golden temples all around the world, built largely on loans from members which they never repay, and on the back of the voluntary work of their resident members in Britain, many, if not most of whom, live on British government state benefits. The NKT organised their worldwide defamation campaign against the Dalai Lama covertly under the banner of a front organisation called the International Shukden Community. The International Shukden Community is an organisation that was created and is run by the new Kadampa tradition in order to carry out their anti-Tibetan political activities while maintaining their financial status as a charity. They use the name of the ISC to hide their activities from the unsuspecting general public and repeatedly deny any connection between themselves and the ISC, as demonstrated in the statement of Kelseng Chundan, a resident teacher of Amitabha Centre, in the Friday's press article in the Bristol Post. Chundan stated that the anti-Dalai Lama demonstrations are not organised by the NKT, but by the ISC, and claimed that the NKT do not try to humiliate the Dalai Lama. Yet, for the last 2 years, whenever the Dalai Lama has made a public appearance in the Western world, the same rent-a-crowd mob of NKT members has turned up to insult and harangue both the Dalai Lama himself and all his devoted followers. NKT Centre resident teachers are pressurised into attending the anti-Dalai Lama demonstrations for fear of losing their posts and their stipends if they do not. The NKT have flooded social media with highly disrespectful and insulting comments about the Dalai Lama and with distorted images of him, depicting him with a pig's snout and ears, as a Nazi and as a bling-covered DJ. Worse still, according to an investigation by the highly respected Reuters news agency published in December 2015, the Shukden sect, which consists mainly of the NKT in the West, has been co-opted by the Chinese government to to operate in tangent with them in their efforts to smear the Dalai Lama, to destabilize the Tibetan community in exile, and to damage the cause of Tibetan freedom. According to the Reuters investigation, backdoor funds and directives are issued to the group by a small group of Shugden Lamas in India. Most NKT members are unaware of this, or are in denial of this, naively assuming that because they don't personally get a paycheck from Beijing, that none are being issued. Meanwhile, the Chinese government has been responsible for the murder of more than 1 million Tibetans since they illegally invaded and occupied Tibet in the 1950s, and to this day, there is no freedom for Tibetans in Tibet. The situation in Tibet today remains horrific, where Tibetans routinely experience brutality, imprisonment, torture and murder at the hands of their Chinese oppressors, who are robbing, exploiting and destroying their land, their history and their culture, while the world turns a blind eye to what they are enduring for the sake of Chinese money and Chinese investment in Western economies. Thank you.
다 드링기 녀무들라야 넘버 안에 당한주 대표릭 민요아지 페샤문에 안주 대조 가르치는 용레스나 안주 용고 얘기 군전 조대 아니 단다 뉴카담베기 아니 민여베기 간다 대 계산자주 최소기 간다 공사 장군 전부 알라야 아니 힘에기 군족 망부 지도자는 안주 뒤설마도지 안 다리 안주 다 될래야 지 Bristol 용자 아니 미망 졸라야 지 간다 세세 제가라 용바이 아니 콘졸라야 다지 가시에 고마즈자 아니 최저디나로라 교체 아니 딘자지 되잖아 아니 안주 콘졸라야 다 간다 지 벽이 산계기 최고마디 고추야다 아니 지 야얼음부지 단다바도 점니 시디 용이야 지도 공해견 남겨딜라야 안다 콘족이 간다 된다기 자원부지라 테메 쇼지 안에 안쪽 받셈 나올라야 오늘 스윗업 제스 대인도 전달이 대 용자 아니 단에송 자원부지라 테메 쉬야 돼 아니 참조 치료치스 아니 캔조 참조 자와이나 아니 안조 이나야 참조 지기스 그런 참조 맞잖아 안조 간다 안조 된다 마세 빠도 땅 안조 간다 가도 이내 아주 미만 졸라 세세 지기들라 아니 아주 간다 용제 될 용장 경쟁 창에 여성 안 졸래야 아니 뒤인도잖아 아니 지기 숙된 뒤에 자가나라 요아래 아니 컨트롤 장말이야 아니 막에 아주 전주 직주기 아니 라왕기 또네야 초아 롱주야 컨트롤이야 톱당 차장 요아래 아니 야오롱부지기 아니 공부 다 전부 시에는 안에 출력 변조 tunam 용이다 다 간다 잠불린라 시디 중나산 자와름부지 그 공에 체력자와 견자 아니 단다바도야 잠닝기 나게 랍자 치중메다 간다 개가 만부지기 생다 필요하래 다 대인투든 된적이 지 잠닝기 미망기 대구 슈세 우지직라야 아니 힘에기 다 간다 균족지 안에 안 도망부터 되잖아 안 된종 아주 별 미망기 닝라 서면 또 드링 아주 대 다링분에 대 용바이 다가는 신 건조 치계 망부지에 폐샤 아니 건조 장말이야 닝위는 같은 체슈비 도지체